All right, I'm going to go for a kind of retro pinup girl look on her because she's really got a look that'll pull it off, and she's got a great little Cupid doll mouth. First thing I'm going to do with that look, because it's a strong, bold liner, I'm going to do just a shimmery lid with a little bit of definition. So, of course, I know you're shocked. I'm going to do cream first. Close for me. Plus, her having deep set eyes, it's a look that is going to really work well for her eye shape. And on a lot of the runways this season, there was that kind of Betty Page pinup reminiscent look. So using my number 22 brush, I am applying the cream shadow. Making sure to blend it out. Then I'm going to go over it with a shimmery. Now I'm going to go pretty light. You can see from my brush that it's almost a whitish shimmer. I'm going to pat it on because I want high contrast between her liner and her shiny shimmery lid. And if you pat a color on, it'll give you more complete application than if you wipe it on. Now the first thing I'm going to do, just in prepping her lash line, is I'm going to push dark into her upper lash line. Open and look down for me. I know it's kind of like an oxymoron. And I'm just pushing it right into the base of the lashes so that when I go to do my dramatic liner, it will look like it goes right up against the lashes. Sorry, tickles. All right, next thing I'm going to do is taking a mid-tone. I'm just going to give a little crease definition. Since she does have deep set eyes, they're quite strong on its own. Just give a little bit in the outer corner, keeping it very specific in placement. Open for me. As you can see, that just really gives you a little bit of shape to the lid. I've just taken my mid-tone and done a little bit of shaping in the crease, and then I've highlighted and given a really soft highlighted lid. Now I'm going to start my lining. Just going to get that really great kick. Winged out eyeliner. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start with pencil to make this foolproof. Start with pencil to create my shape, and then I'll go back with powder. And then at the end, I'll do my liquid for an exact line. Good, look down for me. You want it to be thinnest on the inside, slowly getting thicker as you go out. definitely wanting it to kick up at the end. Open for me. Okay, look down. Open. Look down. So I'm starting to get my placement with my pencil. Then I'm going to go back over it with a detailed, my number 42 brush and black shadow to kind of fine tune that line. Turn this way for me, now look down. So that when I go back over with my liquid, getting the liquid exact will be very, very easy. Now keep in mind, because it's kind of a retro look, look at me, we're going a little bit more dramatic with the liner. And the reason you do it with pencil and shadow first is it's much easier to clean up that pencil and shadow first if you want to change the shape you've started making. Now you can see how I've started creating, I could almost go with this line, but it's not dramatic enough. But I've created that pattern, so now with my liner, my liquid or gel, I can simply go over what I've just created, and it's much easier, look down for me, to get it exactly right. And I'm much more confident just going for it. Okay, now, since we've now done the liquid, and you can see how much more dramatic it makes it, but since we're doing such a dramatic version of it, because it's a retro look, I'm going to go ahead and clean up underneath. And this is what's so great, is you can take your concealer and concealer brush, and you can just kind of fine-tune that line if there's any kind of like non-starkness to the edge. Another thing too is, because we've done it so dramatic, I am going to take a little bit of black shadow and fill in down here as well to finish out that look. Let me clean up the edges, the shape first. Now I'm going to take a small brush, look up, and I'm just going to go and fill in and start to come underneath the lower lash line to kind of connect. You can see how that makes that even better by connecting it slightly. Okay, now using my number 14 brush, I'm just going to highlight right underneath the eye. Now this look is going to need mascara on the bottom lashes and at least some outer false lashes on top. Look up. Do a little bit of mascara on the bottom lashes. Okay, now we're going to take a false lash. It's best on this look to do the false lash after. Now, look down for me. We want it more to the outer corner. Look straight ahead. So I'm going to come in, and you can see where I need to cut off false lashes right here. So I'm going to shorten them. Not only will it make it more comfortable for her to wear, it will fit the look better. So I'm going to trim them from the outer corner. Remeasure. Look at me. I want to go through and I want to color this lash with my liquid or gel eyeliner to make it disappear. So that when I apply it, it will be invisible. So I'm just coloring it black. Then I'm going to apply some surgical adhesive. Next, in order to get it to go on, we're going to round it out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to roll it as the glue starts to dry. You want the glue to start to dry so it gets stickier. You're just kind of rolling it because the eye's rounder, and that helps round it out when I go to put it on. Okay, look down for me. And you're just laying it right on top of her natural lash line. And then we just need to let it dry. The great thing about surgical adhesive is it starts out kind of cream colored and it dries clear. A little glue. Rounding it out, letting the glue start to get sticky. Okay, turn your head this way for me. Now look down. Up a little bit. There we go. Just remember, the shorter you cut the width of a false eyelash, the more comfortable it will be. So the shorter the width is. So don't try to take a whole lash. Look at me. Okay, now we're going to let that dry. And then we're going to do a layer of mascara, mascaring her lashes into the false. Okay, now I'm just doing a layer of mascara. Look down for me. Mascaring her lashes into the false. That way they look more natural. And then it's time for our bold lip. Now, I'm going to blot off the moisturizer I put on. Rub them together real quick for me. This is just going to make everything go on smoother. And then I'm going to conceal the edge of her lip. Anytime you're doing a bold lip, you want to make sure and conceal the edge. It just gives you a prettier edge to the lip. And when it's bold, that's what people are going to see. So we want to make sure it's got a nice edge. Now, I think what makes her mouth great for a bold lip is the fact she has what I call a baby doll pucker, kind of like a Cupid doll mouth, where it is full but narrow. If you've got a wide, full mouth, it looks much prettier in softer shades, because if I did red, it'd look like Joker. So I'm just taking and concealing the edge of her lip. I'm then going to just lightly powder it. Okay, we're going to do our stereotypical classic pinup lip, which is a red lip. Now, I want this to be a little more day-friendly, sheer, easier to wear, so I'm going to do a softer red lip. Normally, I would line with like a burgundy or more of almost a brownish brick color. I'm going to do a true red liner. Turn this way for me. You want to make sure and fill in the entire lip with your pencil. Anytime you're doing a red or a dark lip, that's going to help it wear much better for you. I don't know how to tell you this, but this isn't going to be a subtle look either. Okay, now you're going to take your brush. And you're going to blend out the lip liner. Okay, lean forward and look at me. Chin up a little bit. Red lips eat my lunch. Okay. Okay, now we're going to take and apply lipstick. Once again, I'm going to choose a shade that's a little softer since it's daytime. Now, stereotypical pinup girl would be super matte. That's just not really the way most girls want their lips these days. So to make it modern pinup girl, we're going to leave the lips a little creamier. Now the trick to longer wear is multiple layers. So what I'm going to do, before I get too anal retentive, I'm going to go ahead and put a layer on, lightly blot it off. What this does is it removes one layer of moisture, and I'm left with some pigment, and then I'll go back and put another layer on. So I get 2 layers of pigment. So between the pencil being underneath, the 2 layers of lipstick, you've really got great pigment on there. Okay, now you can see we've got our modern pinup look. To make it even more modern, because one of the things that makes 1940s makeup look like 1940s is everything was matte. I've given a little sheen to the lip, but I'm also going to add a little bit of shimmer with an illuminator to the high points of the face, the forehead, underneath the eye, on top of the cheekbone, and just the tip of the chin, a little bit on the nose. I'm just going to add a little bit more glow and shape to her face. And thankfully her husband's out of town this weekend, so she can go have fun without him. Let me see. Yeah, you got it.
Here's the comb. Mad at it.
As you can see, we finished our modern day version of a retro pinup look, a classic look that we've taken into the 21st century. Anyway, what makes it more now is the fact that we've done a sheer red lip instead of a matte lip. We've kept the skin sheer and with a bit of a sheen to it. So it makes it much, much more wearable and modern.